Good morning, students. I explained about symmetrical fault analysis in last class. Now let us do some numerical problems. So, how to calculate fault current, fault MVA, such things. And before we go with the problems, let me just repeat what we covered. So, symmetrical faults. What are symmetrical faults? These are triple line and triple line to ground. So, these are the two faults which are shunt faults basically, and because of these faults system is not going to lose its balance, system still remains in balanced mode of operation, hence per phase analysis is sufficient. And when we go with per phase analysis, per unit values are to be used. Okay. And what is fault current? To evaluate fault current, we need to calculate short circuit MVA. What is short circuit MVA? This is base MVA divided by ZF or Z per unit. Okay. Short circuit MVA is to be obtained, which is base MVA divided by ZF, and this ZF is in per units only. Then fault current, or this is short circuit current, which is short circuit MVA divided by root 3 times kilovolts line to line, or nominal voltage in line to line. So, this is what is fault current or short circuit current, that is short circuit MVA divided by root 3 times VL. That VL is nominal line to line voltage in kilovolts. So, if VL is kilovolts line to line, then what is IF? IF is MVA by kilovolts. So, this will be kilo amps. Okay. So, short circuit current kilo amps if short circuit MVA and voltage which is line to line nominal line to line kilovolts. Okay. So, that is the understanding. So, otherwise if you substitute in volts, you will be getting mega amps, is it not? Then also let me explain how this short circuit is going to be on a 3-phase alternator. If you consider a 3-phase alternator with a sudden short circuit at its terminals, and assume that the 3-phase alternator or 3-phase generator working on no load. So, it is open circuited operation of the alternator, or assume that the 3-phase alternator is working on no load, and if it is subjected to a 3-phase fault. 3-phase fault means 3-phase 3 lines faults are 3 line to ground fault. When such a fault is happening on a 3-phase alternator, immediately the current shoots up, which we call it as the fault current, and that fault current, whatever is the magnitude, it slowly comes down and finally settles at a fixed value. So, during the process of start of that fault to few seconds later, that means few cycles of fault current later, the current reaches a steady value. That is the sustained value or steady state fault current we call. So, between steady state fault current to the instant of fault, how the waveform will be, that is the fault current is going to be. So, first let me draw the waveform. If you take ISC, short circuit current, on y axis and time on x axis, immediately upon short circuit, the current shoots up to a very high value and then it slowly comes down. So, if you take the asymptote of the waveform, it's something like this. So, initially the current will be very high, it shoots up to very dangerous values of the magnitude, and then it comes down and finally this is the settling time. Okay. And this waveform, which is the current under short circuit 3-phase alternator, when it is subjected to a 3-phase fault, the current waveform is going to be with this shape. Okay. And this can be divided into 3 regions. That is, the first few cycles of time and then a few more cycles. This is the first region, second region and third region. As all of you are clear, this is the settling time or steady state time. Steady state period we call. Okay. So, last where the current reaches a constant magnitude, that is called steady state period. Then this one, it is transient period. And this is subtransient period. So, the duration of the subtransient period is about 2 to 3 cycles only, whereas transient period is comfortable to analyze, whereas here it is very short time and hence the analysis during subtransient period is very tough, and it is somewhat okay in transient period because it is considerably sufficient time, whereas steady state it is highly comfortable because it sustains there and then we can analyze steady state very easily. So, this is very tough, this is moderate and this is easy. So, total asymptote of this waveform, it can be divided into 3 regions. So, first region, that is from the y axis if you count, this is subtransient period, next period or next duration it is transient period, and finally steady state period. And if you observe these durations, the first or subtransient period, it lasts for 0.05 to 0.1 seconds, whereas transient period it is 0.2 to 2 seconds. The duration for which it lasts is 0.2 to 2 seconds. So, remaining it is for any amount of time, it is steady state, that is the third duration. So, you can see only about 1 or 2 cycles of time only for this subtransient period which it lasts, and transient period it may be about 6 to 7 or 8 cycles of time you can see, and steady state is the leftover time where it is constant. So, if I start with 0, the final steady state, if I mark this as A, this is B and C. On y axis, I am just marking the extrapolation. So you can take the magnitudes from O, OA, OB, OC. These are the three values. OA, OB and OC. So OA is corresponding to the steady state, OB is corresponding to transient and OC is corresponding to the subtransient. And these currents during these three periods we can relate through corresponding reactances offered by the machine, because it is very clear that the fault draws various currents or different currents, particularly during these three regions, three different currents. So what are those three currents? They are related with the equations I, this is OA by root 2, okay, OA by root 2, which is nothing but EZ by XD. What is this I? This is steady state current, steady state fault current. Then the second one I dash is OB by root 2, this is EZ by XD dash. Similarly, I call the second or third current, which is OC by root 2, this is EZ by XD double dash. So I dash, I double dash, these three are steady state, transient state and finally this is subtransient state currents. So EZ, this is the EMF or no load voltage of the generator. EZ is the no load voltage of the alternator or generator. Okay. So EZ by XD. What is XD? XD is direct access reactance offered by the alternator. Direct access reactance offered by the machine or generator. XD dash. What is XD dash? Direct access transient reactance, direct access transient reactance of the machine. Similarly, the third one XD double dash is the direct access subtransient reactance. So machine offers three different reactances during these three periods. Because of that only you are getting three different currents, okay, which means it is very, very clear that the direct access reactance offered by the machine is very, very higher than the other two, and this XD dash is smaller than XD. That's why current corresponding to this region is high, whereas XD double dash is further small. So xd is greater than xd dash, it is greater than xd double dash. So that's why current I is smaller than I dash, which is smaller than I double dash. So same machine, same alternator, it offers three different values of the reactances. Okay. Or you can say that the currents are limited by three reactances, and those reactances are respectively the direct axis reactance, direct axis transient reactance, direct axis subtransient reactance. So immediately upon short circuit, the machine offers very small value of reactance, that is subtransient reactance, and it slightly increases, the machine offers slightly increased value of reactance, that is the transient reactance, thereby the current slowly comes down. And after few more cycles, the same machine, it offers higher value of reactance, that is the actual xd, thereby the current further decreases. So the decrement of current, it is rapid during the first region, and it is moderate during the second region, and it is stable during the final region. Okay. So that is what you can observe, the three currents: steady state current, transient current, subtransient current. These three currents are limited by respective reactances offered by the machine: transient reactance, direct axis transient reactance, direct axis subtransient reactance, that is xd double dash, transient reactance is xd dash, and steady state reactance, it is xd. So finally the machine or the alternator, it offers three reactances. That means the stator of the machine, it offers three reactances, and those reactances actually limits the currents, and respectively for three regions you get three currents: I dash, I double dash. I double dash is very high, and it lasts only for few cycles, one or two cycles normally, and I dash, it is the time corresponding to I dash, that is the transient period, is moderate, and I, it is the sustained or steady state stable current. All these currents are fault currents only. Immediately upon fault current, this is a very highly shooting current, which is I double dash. It slightly moderately decreases during this region, and finally it settles at I. So these are the currents and corresponding reactances. Okay. Now let us go with the problems, because this is very important topic which you should know, the behavior of the short circuit and how the machine offers different reactances for the three important regions. So let us go with a problem. So in this class we solve two problems. An interconnected generator reactor system is shown in figure. An interconnected generator reactor system is shown. The base values for generator the base values for the given percentage reactances for the given percentage reactances are the ratings of the individual equipment A three-phase short circuit occurs at point F. At the point capital F. Determine the fault current and fault KVA. Determine the fault current and fault KVA if the bus bar line to line voltage is 11 kilovolts, take base MVA equal to 50. So, some system is given, interconnected generator and reactors, that anyway I will be drawing, and the base values for the given percentage reactances are the ratings of individual equipment. So, based on individual ratings of equipment, the percentages are given, percentage reactances. A three-phase short circuit, that means symmetrical fault, is happening at point F. You are asked to calculate IF, fault current, and fault KVA, and the nominal line to line voltage is 11 kV for the system, and you are asked to take base MVA 50. Of course, this base MVA you can select on your own, and if it is given, we take accordingly. Okay. So, the system is like this. So, 3 generators or 3 alternators are connected through some reactors, and here is the fault. Even though we call it as a fault, it is a 3-phase short circuit. So, we are showing only one out of the 3 phases. So, each phase it is having 3 alternators with this reactor. Okay. You must assume 3 such identical circuits. We will be considering one out of that. And here when we show fault, it is a 3-phase fault. Okay. And then the values are all given. This is 10 MVA, 10%, reactance is 10%. The second one is 20 MVA, 15%, and third alternator, it is 20 MVA, 15%. The reactors which are interlinking these G1, G2, G2, G3, they are 10 MVA, 8 MVA, and the reactances are 5% and 4%. So, let us call this as X1, X2. Okay. So, this is what is given. The system is containing 3 alternators and 2 reactors. Fault is at this point. That means straight on generator 1 bus bar. So this is the base values of the given percentage reactances or the ratings of individual equipment. That means suppose if you take generator 1, it is having reactance of 10% based on 10 MVA. Likewise, generator 3 15% reactance, it is based on its own MVA. Similarly, the percentages marked, they are based on their own ratings, as we know that. So now what is that? You take base MVA 50 and base KV, which is anyway 11 kV for the entire system. No other voltages are given. So you take that as unique. Now obtain new per unit values based on this. So I am just giving what is Xg1. Xg1 is 50 by new MVA by old MVA, 10 into reactance 0.1. Okay, so calculate this. Similarly, Xg2 is new MVA by old MVA 20 and its reactance is 0.15. Xg3, which is 50 by 20 into 0.15. These two are same. Okay. Then X1 is 50 by 10 into 0.05. X2 50 by 8 into 0.04. So these are the new per unit values of the equipment based on 50 MVA and 11 kV. So these values, Xg1 is 0.5, Xg2 0.375, which is same as for Xg3, and then X1 0.25, and this is also 0.25. Okay. So these are new per unit values. Now after obtaining these values, draw the reactance diagram, equivalent reactance diagram, and then reduce for ZF. Okay. So I will be drawing the reactance diagram taking the reference, which is neutral. Then generator 1 reactance, generator 2 reactance, generator 3 reactance. Here is an interconnected X1, another X2. So this is Xg3, Xg2, Xg1. The equivalent reactance diagram I am just drawing. This is the fault. So once this is drawn, the latter part is to condense this and obtain the single per unit reactance, equivalent per unit reactance under fault condition. Okay, that means you reduce this, find out what is the equivalent reactance, that is ZF. Okay, so that I will be doing. So if you reduce this, what you need to do? These two are in series. That will be in parallel with this. Again that is in series with this. And this is in parallel with this. So I will be drawing that. So please see. These are the three generator values, and then X1, X2, new per unit values. Xg1 0.5, Xg2 0.375, and this is also 0.375, and x1 x2 0.25 each. Okay, this is the equivalent reactance diagram. Now how to reduce this? So I am combining these two, 0.375 plus 0.25. You can add it up because these two are in series, and that is in parallel with 0.375. Reduce that, 0.375 parallel with this combination. So if I do that, this is 0.25, this is 0.5, generator 1 and reactor 1, and this equivalent, if I combine all this, that value is 0.2344. So even though we write this as 0.5, 0.25 and all, these are all with J's only, okay, because these are all reactances. You are expected to add J, okay. So J 0.5, J 0.25, J 0.2344. Now further, this J 0.2344 is in series with J 0.25, and that is in parallel with J 0.5. So finally I will be getting an equivalent between reference and the fault, and that value is 0.246, which means this is J 0.246. Okay, I hope all of you understand this. This is J 0.246, that is ZF. So ZF from the complete equivalent is J 0.246 per units. Now latter part is quite simple. What is short circuit MVA? Short circuit MVA is base MVA by ZF. What is base MVA? Base MVA is 50. So 50 divided by 0.246, you take only the magnitude. So 50 by that is 203.25. So this is your short circuit MVA, that is the first answer. Then fault current, IF is short circuit MVA by root 3 into VL, nominal line to line voltage, that is 203.25 divided by root 3 into what is line voltage, it is 11. If you substitute kilovolts, you will be getting this in kiloamps. Okay, so what is this in kiloamps? IF is 10.667 kiloamps. So you see the magnitude of fault current. Fault current is 10.667 kiloamps. So that many amperes, thousands of amps, 10.667 into 1000, kilo means 1000, that much of fault current flows because of the short circuit at this point. And this is because of the reactances which are already there. Suppose if there is no reactance at all, what is the fault current? It is infinite, is it not? When no fault reactance, ZF, if you assume 0, the fault current will be 1 per unit divided by 0, it is infinite. So under ideal conditions, the fault current is expected to be infinite, but because of the limiting reactances here and there, the fault current is going to be decreased, and now for this system given, you are getting a fault current of 10.667 kiloamps. Okay, so this is how you need to do the problems. I will give you one more problem quickly. But you should remember here, the fault is only a 3-phase fault, 3-phase symmetrical fault only on all 3 phases, even though we are representing on only one phase we are considering, and we are evaluating for one phase what is the fault current. So same thing you need to expect on other 2 phases also. Okay. So second problem, A three-phase short circuit fault occurs at point F. A three-phase short circuit fault occurs at point F. Calculate the fault current. Calculate the fault current. The system given is 1, 2. These are the two machines connected to a transformer and it is connected to a load. Fault is here. Okay. And the ratings 20 MVA, 10 MVA, and based on their own MVA, the percentage reactances, they are 15% and 10%, transformer 30 MVA, 5%, load it is 3 plus J 15 ohms, load or it might be transmission line even. So, 3 plus J 15 which is 33 kV, the operating voltage of that line it is 33 kV. So, this is the problem. So, a three phase short circuit fault occurs at point F as shown in the figure. Calculate IF. So, you can select any base. What base you select? Choose base MVA, normally the highest rating of the equipment we take in general. Okay. So, take 30 MVA and then kilovolts are not mentioned. So, let us assume all system its base kV is 33. So, with this new base MVA and kV, what are the per unit values, new per unit values? What is Xg1? Xg1 is 30 by 20 into 0.15. Xg2 30 by 10 into 0.1. Transformer 30 by 30 into 0.05. Okay. Then XL it is 3 plus J 15 Z in ohms into base MVA by base kV square, base kV 33 square. These are all per unit values given. So, per unit value, old per unit value into the new MVA base by old MVA base, and kV is same. So, you are not writing that ratio, otherwise kV ratio square you need to write. So, 30 by 20 into 0.15, 30 by 10 into 0.1, 30 by 30 into 0.05, and this is ohmic value is given. So, Z per unit, this is even though we write it as XL, it is actually ZL. So, ZL is Z in ohms into base MVA by base kV square. So, these values are 0.225 and this is 0.3, 0.05, 0.0862, plus J 0.4132 per units. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 elements, 4 new per unit values. Now, as you know, you draw the equivalent with the obtained per unit values. So, drawing a per unit reactance diagram, equivalent is simple. So, this is Xg1, this is Xg2, these two together connected to transformer and then the load line. This is fault point F. These values are 0.225, 0.3, 0.05 and the impedance is this, and you can take only the reactance, is it not? We can neglect the resistance. So, 0.4132 I consider. Okay, consider only the reactance, we want reactance diagram, this is reference and this is fault point. Now, condense this to a simple single reactance value. Okay. So, I can join these two which are in series and these two are in parallel. So, obtain what is the simplified equivalent. So, finally, you must be getting this, and that equivalent is 0.5918. So, this is ZF. Okay. Now, what is short circuit MVA? Is base MVA which is 30 by ZF 0.5918. So, this value is 50.21. This is short circuit MVA. Then short circuit current IF, which is short circuit MVA by root 3 into nominal line to line voltage 33 kilovolts, which is 0.885. This is kiloamps, okay, because this is MVA and this is kilovolts. So, you will be getting kiloamps, or I can say 888.5 amps. Okay. So, this is how you need to do the problems. So, whatever problem that is given, you obtain the equivalent reactance diagram based on new MVA base, new MVA, new kV base. Then condense that reactance diagram to single equivalent reactance. That single equivalent reactance is called per unit fault impedance or per unit fault reactance. So, once that ZF is obtained, you calculate what is short circuit MVA and then fault current. Short circuit MVA is base MVA by this per unit equivalent reactance. Then short circuit current is this short circuit MVA divided by root 3 into nominal voltage where the fault is. Okay. So, let me stop here. Thank you.